Welcome back, everybody, to episode 9 of the Off the Bench podcast.
Is it episode 9 already?
Episode 9, 9 weeks.
I like that. Yeah, 9 weeks we've done this.
That's kind of crazy.
Go quick.
Today we're going to be talking about our favorite playoff series so far.
Mm-hmm.
We'll touch a little bit on the Bucks with the big news about Damian Lillard.
Yeah, the devastating news of my dark horse.
We'll kick it off with a starting fire wheel with a bit of a switch today.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some more UFC. We didn't really touch on the UFC last week because there wasn't a whole lot going on. First week of the NBA playoffs. Over the last few days, there's been a lot of fight announcements.
Yeah, it's been good.
There's been a few cards.
For all of our fighting enthusiasts. Yeah, and a lot coming out.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
A few cards coming up, so we'll touch on that too.
Also disappointed with some of the stuff I've heard. The Johnny Jones and Aspinall.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that after we do this starting five when we dive into the playoffs.
Yep.
So we're going to do the starting five. Rules are the same. We have not changed the rules. The only change will be now we're doing current day players. The player has to be playing right now. They have to be on that team. So we're not doing current day players that used to play for someone.
Okay, so if I get Houston, I can't pick James Harden.
Someone
on the current Houston.
You got to pick someone on the current Houston team. Okay. Just current day.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little bit easier.
I think so too.
Because we're going to have to think, it'll be easier for us to think of matchups and stuff.
Yeah.
Knowing the players a bit easier. So we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
And we're going to spin the wheel. First spin, you're up first.
Yeah. All right.
You're up first. Utah Jazz. So good one. It's a good one. Utah.
I feel like I have to just go Larry Markkinen.
Yeah, you kind of do. Where are you playing him?
The 4.
4th?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Colin Sexton as my 6 man.
As your 6 man?
Yeah, I don't want him on my starting lineup, but
that's fair.
He can be my 6th man. You know, just get him to sit out there. Everyone else did the hard work. Hopefully I get a few good teams. All right. Next spin. That was quick.
Oh, Jesus, bro.
We have started horribly. I nearly said Dennis Schroeder, but he's not there.
No.
He's been moved. He's at Detroit.
That would have been a decent pick, but
yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been a good pick.
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas?
I was thinking of him or Johnson. Cameron Johnson or Cam Thomas.
I'm probably go Thomas.
He's a better scorer.
I will go.
He'll run my 2.
I'll go Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton, okay?
For my big man.
Thinking different. Alright.
Yeah.
Come on.
Give me that defense.
Yeah, I was just thinking I need a defense player. Like, give me like
Orlando. Is it my pick now?
Yeah. This is done for me. There's only one player I can say that you've already blocked out his position.
I mean, technically, Powell played 3, right? But if we're keeping it,
I don't know if I would play. I don't think he's a 3.
If we're keeping it true to position, I'll play fair.
I'll take. It's so disappointing.
I'll take.
I think you got Larry Markkinen.
I mean, he's alright.
He's
not Paolo, but he's alright.
Yeah,
like all-star last year.
He used to do better, but he's alright.
Give me Jalen Suggs. For my 6 man, actually. Give me Jalen Suggs.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't like that pick.
No, give me Suggs for my 6.
That looks a lot better.
That's a very solid 6 man.
Do I have to say who I'm picking?
Well, I mean, we all know you're picking Paolo.
If I don't pick Paolo, I'm an idiot. That'd be stupid not to pick him. All right. Next team. My pick first. I'm excited. Give me the...
If it makes you feel better, I can't pick him either, so.
What?
What? Oh, no.
I can't be honest. That hurts. Can't even lie.
Even Dame for you, that's a small guard lineup. Dame.
I don't
Colts.
like Dame right now. He's also got no Achilles. But
That's true.
also defense-wise, like I wouldn't like my backcourt in defense. What, got put on Colin Sexton? Again, he's little.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I need to rather go a bigger guard, but again, there's no real... I don't know who to play.
Yeah, you got Gary Trent, got Kevin Porter.
I was thinking Kevin Porter Jr. maybe, or I was thinking Lopez to play that.
You could go crossover for the 3. I love it.
Dropping zeros.
Yeah.
What's Porter's true position?
Like a 1-2. I say 1-2. Kind of plays both.
Yeah,
Like it depends, right? Like
Mm.
sometimes he's just
So I'm thinking maybe even
Dame and he's more of a 2.
I'm thinking maybe even having Lopez.
As your bib.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
that's an alright one. Yeah, my guys up.
It's at least size.
Yeah,
Like your team is pretty small at the moment.
they're pretty small. I'm thinking if I go Lopez, my only problem will be if there's like a massive like defensive bid that comes out, then I'll be upset.
Yeah, but I'm in the same situation. Like I've already taken my 4 and my 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking Lopez, spread the floor a bit, clear the lane for Paolo a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lopez.
All right, I'll take. God, I'm not old. I feel like I'm alright so far. Like I've got defense, I've got shooting.
Having Nick Claxton's big for you. That's probably your best pick so far with your defense and stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna carry the defense, and then Suggs off the bench. I like that too. But
You just need scoring.
yeah,
You don't really have a guy to turn to.
nah. For this one, I'm gonna take Gary Trent for that
Yeah,
floor spacing. He's a bit streaky, but when he's on,
he's
he's on.
yeah. You know, you're just struggling with, you don't really have a scorer yet, but you've got the 2 main positions. Like, you get a decent team.
I mean, Lowry's a scorer, but he just needs someone.
He's not like your 1, though.
No,
He's not your 1.
If I get a good guard or a good winning, then he's my 2 option though.
That's what I'm saying. He's just not your 1. You need a 1.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got Paolo and then Thomas. I just need defense.
Thomas is a 1, a 2, a 3, 4. In terms of like scoring, he's taking all the shots.
Yeah. That's why I need a good point guard and I need some defense.
Yeah. You need a playmaker.
Yeah. Which is hard to come by nowadays, let's be honest.
I mean, it depends. You might get
It's your pick first.
Mark who?
Where do I go with this?
I'm 50-50 on Kobe White and Giddy.
That's what I'm 50-50 on. I know which one you probably eat more.
I'm just imagining, like, I feel like, I don't know, bro.
I'm not going to help you.
Like, this year, bro, Kobe White, if the Bulls had a better record, he could have been, like, all-star consideration.
Yeah.
But then also, Giddy post-all-star break was, like, genuinely
good.
like, amazing.
I think I know where you need to go. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's my 50-50, right? Like,
think about what you need. You need someone to get the ball in the hoop. Who does that better?
well, Kobe, but Giddy's also no slouch. And this year, are we taking him for this current season?
Yeah.
This year he shot well from 3, right?
Yeah.
And he's also the better playmaker. And him setting up Lowry and Claxton is kind of like, I think I'm still going to go Kobe White, but I don't know, bro, because then what if we get like a team with a good guard on the next.
Just remember, everyone, start of the season, OKC trade away Josh Giddey,
Yeah.
the biggest smile on your face. You were the happiest person I've ever met.
Oh, he didn't fit our system, right? Like,
You were telling me how much better Caruso was. Oh, he's just the best. And look, Caruso's a better player, but man, you were acting like Caruso's all NBA in comparison.
I mean, did you see him in that playoff series?
Mate, he's not that good.
Mate.
He's good.
He was
But you were acting like he was all NBA. You're like, nah, hey, look at this. We've got an MVP on our hands.
all defense, bro.
He's good. Like
Lighting
already said, he is good. But he's not that much.
I'm taking Kobe White for this one.
Give me Giddey.
That's not bad for you, though.
I needed that.
Yeah.
That if I could have picked a player, he's on a short list of guys. It's like, you know what? He won't just like take the ball from everybody. But he's a good playmaker. He can spread the floor still. He's no slouch on defense. Like,
Oh, he's a slouch on defense.
not a slouch.
He's a slouch. I've watched him for 4 years. He's a slouch on defense.
I wouldn't say like, oh, out of everyone I have in the guards,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be more worried about like,
I'd be worried about these two. Colin Sexton is a good defender, but only because he tries really.
I would be worried about Thomas more than I'd be worried about Giddey.
They're pretty 50-50. Like, both of them, like, Giddy tries, he's just not good.
Oh, that's Tom Thomas doesn't try. He doesn't try. That's what I'm worried about though.
But to be fair, he also plays for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So,
Even though when I was watching, they were my favourite team to watch at the start of the year. Because they would go out, pedal to the metal, for 3 quarters. They were fun. They tried so hard. And then, we'd get to the 4th quarter and they'd gas out and then they get blown out. Then they get beaten by 20 and you're like, what the hell? You had a 10-point lead.
but for 3 quarters,
For 3 quarters, they were on us so hard. I love watching them. All right, is this the last pick?
last pick. Maybe you're first.
Me. Okay.
And we both need a 3.
Oh,
So,
one of us is getting stitched up.
we're both getting stitched up.
Oh, who do I pick here?
I mean, the obvious option is Paul George.
I know, but like,
He was
I don't need another.
and was he really that good this year?
No.
Like,
For who else played this 3 when he was injured though? Who was the fill-in 3?
there was a few options.
Like, there wasn't one guy that was just like, you're feeling.
Nah, you've got a couple.
Kane's a guard.
They had Caleb Martin to start the season off before they traded into Dallas.
Mm. He did play small forward, did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because he was off the bench and then they kind of slid him in with Paul George. Did a Scarlet on. They had post-trade deadline. They had Quentin Grimes.
So I don't really watch the Sixers. I don't even know if
They had Yabusele for a little bit, Lonnie Walker for a little bit.
I remember Quentin Grimes.
They kind of just ran through forwards this year because of how many injuries they had.
Thinking about between Martin and Grimes.
Yeah.
I take Grimes.
Well, it depends what you want. Like, Grimes is a better offensive player, but Martin's a better defensive player. So it depends what you want. Like,
I was leaning towards Martin.
but both of them can shoot the 3. They can both rebound.
And I think I need that defense more. So give me Caleb Martin. I need that defense more. If I took the better offensive players, like, cool.
All right, but he might have had a shit year, but I'm still taking Paul George.
Yeah. Like, I would take him, but honestly, what I need, if I took Paul George, it would turn into an argument mid-court.
My ball, your ball.
It would be like Cam Thomas and Paul George wrestling for the ball and Paolo jumping on top, WWE star.
Yeah.
It would be like, who wants the ball? Otherwise I would just had too many people wanting that rock.
Yeah. All right, so our final lineups on my team, we have Kobe White, Gary Trent, Paul George, Larry Markkinen, Nick Claxton, and Jalen Suggs as my 6th man.
Yep.
And on Kobe's team, we had Josh Giddey, Cam Thomas, Caleb Martin, Paolo, Brook Lopez, and Colin Sexton. I think it's pretty obvious that I win this one, to be honest.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you have, though, that you're just turning to go score the ball late down the stretch?
Kobe White, Paul George, Larry Markkinen.
Pick one that you would. you like give you the ball.
Literally like three. Whoever, like hypothetically, whoever's hot that game gets the shot.
Yeah.
Like I've got three guys, whereas you've got Paolo. Like Cam
Thomas been Paolo. No, I've kept Thomas.
I wouldn't put him on the same tier as Paolo though, in terms of like,
no,
you need a shot.
I wouldn't really put any of your three on Paolo's level either. Not this year, Paul George.
Kobe White this year.
That was the only one I was like.
Kobe White.
That was the only one. But again, not all year. He hasn't been consistently good all year.
Oh, he was consistently good all year.
Not all year.
Yes, bro.
He had a very good stretch. Ended the year really good. But at the start, he didn't have the best start to his year.
He had a very good year.
I would say your team wins.
Larry Markin would still hit those shots.
I do think your team's better than mine.
I think if this was a 7-game series, I think I win in 5. A close 5, but I think I win in 5.
I'd say per like that 6-ish mark. It was good. I reckon it would be a close one, but yeah, I think I have your team better than mine right now, if I'm honest. I think it's closer than you're giving it, but your team wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your team is better than mine, though. Credit where credit's due. I might have lost that one.
You lost that one. That's it. All right. So on these spin the wheels, I'm now 3-0.
What?
Ovi's 0-3.
I won the last one. Yeah, I did. 2-1.
I'll still take that. I'm 2-1.
You won.
That is 1-2.
I'll give you the first one.
Negative record.
Yeah, that's okay. Some of the best title runs have started 2-1 down.
Negative record.
Yeah, you know I'm right.
All right. Next up,
All right.
let's talk about our favorite series so far.
Favorite series first?
Let's go our favorite series from each conference.
Oof.
Okay.
I had a good think about this actually. I had a really good think about this. For my favorite series, where do you want me to start? East or West?
You're a Celtics fan in the East, so let's start with the East.
Okay. My favorite series in the East, definitely not the Cavs Heat. That was boring.
Yeah.
Look, being a Celtics fan,
There was a few moments, however,
in the first 2 games,
in the first 2 games where the Heat looked pretty good. It was a lot closer than I thought it would.
and then it would get to the last 5 minutes,
And then the has to blew it out. Like, there were moments where the Heat kind of looked
and then the last 2 games were just shockers,
they,
absolute shockers.
especially yesterday. Oh, my.
I didn't actually watch a play. I just turned it on and went, oh, they're up 40. They're back up 50.
I turned it on to watch it, and I think they were up like 35 in the second quarter. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to watch this.
I was like, I can't even watch that. It would be shocking. Oh. But my favourite series, there's only one answer. It's got to be Knicks Pistons.
Yeah.
I think none of the other series have matched up to it. Celtics Magic have been better series than I expected. So what? I think that's more Celtics have played pretty bad.
Yeah.
To their standards, and the Magic have played better.
Yeah.
The favourite series is going to be Knicks Pistons. A lot of drama. They actually don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. The last game, Pistons should have won, or at least should have had the chance to shoot free throws to win.
Yeah. I think the refs coming out not even 20 minutes after the game finishes.
So admit it.
They should have been a foul. Like,
I will say that.
it's pretty slack.
You know what I will say? I like it from the ref, though. So many refs would stand on their high horse and be like, nah, I made the decision. It was the right decision, even though it was clearly not. I like that the ref was like, you know what? I know it was a big moment. I'm sorry. I should have made a better call. I'll be better. I like that he took accountability from the ref's point of view.
I like that.
Like, he should have made the better decision. Yeah. Or an NBA ref.
Yeah.
But there are so many moments that have been like, not that bad, but bad decisions. And refs stand on their high horse, go quiet, and don't say anything.
Yeah.
I like that he came out and was like,
okay,
I should have been better.
No, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from with that. I think
quite likes that from the ref.
Yeah. Knicks Pistons has been my favorite series as well. Like, it is like I want the Pistons to win. If they pull off like a 3-1 comeback, I would be so happy.
I reckon they could. They've had their moments in every game.
Well, every single one of the games has been Like, it's come down to like the last.
They've had now
played.
2 games that they were leading in the 4th
Mm.
and lost their lead,
Yeah.
which was probably a double digit. I don't know about the last one, but they've at least had 1 double digit lead broken.
Game 1 they did.
Was the last one was close to double digits?
No, not yesterday. The last game was it was pretty close the whole way through. Game 1, the Knicks went on like an 18-0 run.
Yeah, no, that was a shocker. So we were talking about it after. That was a shocker. But yeah, like there's been a couple of times they've lost game 4s that they had fourth quarter games that they've had.
Yeah.
So if they buckle up, they don't lose those. I could see this going to that 6-7. I do think Pistons will win today.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll go out in 5. Even though it's in New York, I don't think they'll go out in 5.
Yeah.
It's been a really good series.
That's really
Definitely my favourite one. Like
Bus has been good as well. And
I think it's been good, but the injuries have kind of turned me off it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's just so disappointing. Like what it could have been if they didn't get injured the first and the second time.
Yeah.
So they were brooding those first 2 games. Bit of beef between Tyrese and a bit of beef between Dame. And then, he gets injured and so,
kind of just goes down the drain.
yeah, it just goes down that drain a little bit.
Yeah, this Pistons have been my favorite series as well.
And
Pacers Bucks has been more interesting than I thought it would be, even though like the Pacers are winning almost every game by double digits.
Yeah.
It's still been pretty good because of
Mm.
there's a bit of drama between the 2 teams.
Yeah. Now we'll go to the better conference, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Until round 2 to 3, the East is boring.
Yeah.
Let's go to the better conferences.
Correct. My favorite series, even though my Thunder won in 4.
It's the least favorite one.
Well, I enjoyed watching it, but that's also just because I'm a fan of the team.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy watching it. The only thing I enjoyed watching was Ja Morant try and say he figured him out straight after he was injured and couldn't affect the game.
Yeah.
I figured them out. I can't show yous, but I did. Just trust me. No, you don't. You're only saying that now because you got injured and you want to make yourself look better.
Yeah.
Bro, we blew a 29-point lead.
I like the Grizzlies, but
So I don't.
that was like,
I don't like.
that was a poor performance. Like in the entire series, really. Like Jaren Jackson was.
They gave up. They just went in there going, we're not winning this.
Yeah.
I don't like the Grizzlies. I don't like Ja. I think he's just a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
I think he says dumb things. He thinks he's better than he is. He was up here. And then the last few years, off court, injuries have put him down a notch, but mentally he still thinks he's up there, which is fine on the court, but he more does it off the court. Talks about it in the press conferences that he does on the court. Like there's guys on the court that you can see that arrogance really come out and they're like, yeah, I'm going to show you. And they talk.
Oh,
Ja does that.
yeah, he does that.
He does that, but he does it just as much in the press conference. And it's like, okay, I don't want to hear it now. I don't want to hear it in your press conference.
Yeah.
I know. I don't love a big guy who talks shit on press conferences all the time. I like it every now and again, but not all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't really like that.
My favorite series has been Nuggets Clippers.
Yeah, it's been good.
Like, I mean, every game coming down to the wire.
The Aaron Gordon dunk, putback, whatever you want to call it, it was gun. I wouldn't even call it a putback because it was an air ball.
Yeah.
So it was just a lob.
Yeah. No,
That was gun. Shit box out from the Clippers. They should have been able to box him out there. That was pretty lazy.
that was pretty poor, but.
And then you had the Westbrook one that won it. You had the Kawhi game.
Yeah. It's just been a series of big moments.
It's been a good series.
It's been great.
It reminds me of like Clippers in like the what year did they, 2021 did they go to the conference finals?
Yeah. Yeah.
When they had a close series all the time. They were just good to watch.
Mhm.
You forget how good Kawhi series are to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know why.
Yeah. But if you just forget, and then he comes back and you're like, oh, that's right.
Forgot how good.
Yeah, it was like, you're a gun. Yeah. No, good series. Not my favorite, though. I've been stuck between the other two.
Yeah.
Personally, everyone knows I'm a massive Steph fan.
Mm-hmm.
So personally watching, I guess I would be like, oh, same as your Thunder and my Celtics ones, where I'm like, oh, the Warriors, Rockets.
Yeah.
But I love this Timberwolves Lakers series.
It has been a good series.
I love it. I love Ant.
Watching Ant go up, really getting LeBron's face.
I just love, like, last year, he gets in Kevin Durant's face weeks after saying he's his favourite player of all time. Then he comes in, gets in Jokic and Murray's face.
Yeah.
Telling him we'll be back in Game 7 after being down 3-2.
Yeah.
Then winning a Game 7 after being down 20. And then, he got smashed by Luka. And then comes back this year. You got Luka, you got LeBron, and he hasn't lost that arrogance after getting smashed by Luka. He's like, nah, let's go again.
Yeah.
And I like that, as I was saying about Ja, he's almost the opposite. He doesn't say a lot of it off the court. He's quite respectful off the court. To LeBron stuff off the court. Like, you don't see him come out and be like, you know when players come out and they're like, oh, I'm just way better than him. He actually shows, like, you see him come up and he's like, hey, man, like, off the court, he'll still have, like, that little conversation with him, how you go? And then get on the court, he flicks that switch.
Yeah.
Which I quite like. You know what I mean? Like, he's not all the time out in the media just bagging him. He's quite good at not doing that. He still does it.
Yeah, he still does it.
But I think as well, he kind of gets asked the questions to do it. They kind of egg him into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I love him. I think he's gone. Watching that game before work the other day, I was watching it. The last 3 minutes, Naz Reid not missing a shot in the fourth quarter.
No.
For the whole series.
No, Naz Reid she's had a series.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels as well had a series.
Julius Randle had a really good game. I know he's played better than usual in the playoffs.
Yeah. But I also feel like that's because he's not the guy anymore. Like back when he was in New York.
Yeah, had a lot of pressure.
He was the guy, and then he was the backup to Brunson. Whereas now it's kind of like you've got Ant, you've got Nas, you've got McDaniels.
Yep.
Got even Conley can hit big shots.
Yep.
Like, so he's not like the one or some games even the two guy anymore. So kind of getting that pressure off his shoulders.
That helps.
Yeah, I feel like he's a good series. Like even when he's not scoring, he's out there doing the other things that you have to do to win the game.
Yeah. And I think he's been good. It's been a good series. Lakers won't lose it in 5, I don't think.
I don't know. I reckon the Timberwolves just want to close it out, to be honest.
Yeah, I just don't think LeBron will let that happen. I don't think LeBron was like, I think LeBron will get him in Game 5.
But he's had 2 back-to-back really good games.
Yeah, it was a 38-point game.
And
I just don't know. I just have a feeling like LeBron's just not going to let it happen. They will be tired. They played the whole second half, the whole starting lineup. That'll be tough on them.
See, I feel like the personality that Amp has, throughout the season, it was Lakers in 5. I reckon he's going to come out and be like, Timberwolves in 5, and then he's just going to take the piss out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what?
I reckon that's in the back of his mind, because he seems like the type of guy
he's very petty
to do that.
He's very petty.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out.
Yes. And no, it's funny.
Yeah.
I'll be so not hypocritical. I'll be like, that's so funny, and yet I was bagging Josh for probably doing a very similar thing. Yeah. They'll be like, oh, that was funny. Yeah. And then the Rockets and Warriors have been a good series.
That has been a
very good series. Very physical.
Yeah. I feel like every first round series so far,
they've let them go a bit.
Outside of Cavs Heat, there's been something like almost every game.
What I will say with the Rockets Warriors, it's weird to me how little amount of calls Steph gets. Like, weird to me. Like, some of the hits he cops and doesn't get a call. And I'm like, but he's a star player. Like, usually the stars would get the call. Even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, every other star player, especially his caliber, would get that call. It was weird. Like, there's been a few where he's been hit, and it would be like little hits on the 3-point line. But I'm like, that's how so many calls are getting.
In the playoff spot, they don't.
But some of them own big hits too, that he hasn't even get.
Yeah, but that's been every series. Like, we could even just talk about the Tim Hardaway shot the other day.
Well, that's the only one that I'm thinking of that hasn't really been called. That's a bigger hit. I feel like usually though, those ones where they get in the shooter's like lane and they hit the shooter, they get marginal contact, or they get in the shooter's leaning area. they still get called no matter how physical it is usually.
You know
The
what?
Hardaway one was a shock.
Always. There's been a few like of the games that I've watched where the coaches have even gone back and challenged the play.
Yeah.
But they've kept it because they've kept it a no call because there was only marginal contact. So it's like, I feel like so far it's kind of like you either get basically trucked on the 3-point line, right? Or you're not getting the foul. The only person that's been getting consistent foul calls was Jalen Brunson, bro. And it's because he's like, I saw this video the other day.
See, but you can't say that when you're on SGA fan.
No. I saw this video the other day.
Like, you're an SGA fan.
I can bring up the stats, bro. Like, I saw this video the other day, and there was this car, and this car was merging lanes, and as it was merging lanes, it just slammed to the brakes, got rear-ended by the car behind it, and the caption was like, how Jalen Brunson draws his fouls. And I thought it was so funny.
Look, I will say this, though. James Harden used to do it all the time.
James Harden doesn't do it the same way Jalen Brunson does it, though.
Oh, he kind of used to, yeah.
No, because James
Harden or the Rockets.
No, James Harden, he will kick his legs out a little bit, and he does a lot of sweep throughs, right? Like where he drags his hands through. Jalen Brunson will literally jump sideways, backwards.
So would Harden.
Harden, no, bro.
He used to jump at the play and then just to roll it up right-handed and be like, where's my foul? I was shooting.
No.
And it's like, you didn't shoot like that.
I watched a lot of James Harden on the Rockets, and he did
He used to always do that.
And that was like the one thing that annoyed me about him, right? Was the amount of fouls he would get. But he doesn't do it to the same degree that Jalen Brunson does.
Brunson does like a little bit of a flop. Like, there's been good players who have done it in the past.
Literally not even take a dribble, be ready for a catch and shoot three, and jump sideways and throw it up with his right hand over his head just to try and draw the foul.
Yeah, he does it. But I'm saying, like, there's been a lot of players that have done that and have been like that.
I'm saying not to the extent, and maybe like trying to think of like
Crazy from an SJ
the
fan.
Flair that he's doing it right there.
Crazy from a Shea fan. Do you know how fouls that guy gets? What? You don't have anything to say now, dude.
No, I mean, like, I watch him, bro. Like, I know he gets fouls.
He gets so many.
But if you actually watch him, he's getting fouled more than he's not.
He is.
He's not jumping sideways into people, bro.
But he does love to draw a foul. Yeah. Even the whole league does. Like, it annoys me how much flopping there is.
Yeah.
Oh my guys, you're playing basketball. Like, get over yourself. Stop jumping around to cop a foul. What the time it annoys me is when a guy will take away his shot to draw a foul.
Yeah.
I'm like, just shoot the rock and get the foul if it's there. Why are you changing your shot and pretty much sabotaging your own shot to draw a foul, to get the free throw?
Yeah. I don't like when
I hate that.
When the player intentionally tries to draw the foul.
Yeah.
Like, instead of actually trying to make the basket as well, like going for the N1.
And what's kind of annoying me is that Steph's not doing that. He is still just shooting the rock.
Oh, he does though.
Yeah, but not this series. When I've watched him get hit though, this series, is he's still shooting the ball normally and then getting hit, getting someone in his landing area, and then going, oh, I'm not getting the call. Why am I not getting the call? Like, he hasn't done it this series.
He still does it, bro.
Not this series. That's what's shocking me. I know he doesn't. Does all the time. He'll flick it. The problem is half the time he gets those shots in. And everyone's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just shocked at how little calls he's getting. And then Butler had a good game. Rockets, I don't like him at all. I just hate Dylan Brooks. That's my problem. Hate him.
That's fair. Yeah.
I just don't like him. I don't think he's good enough to talk the way he does.
He's very hit or miss. No, but he's also just, he's there as that guy.
Yeah, but like, he's just not that guy.
No, but
like I know what you mean. He's just, it's annoying.
Yeah.
He's just not good enough, I don't think, to talk like the way he does. He talks like he's better than people. And he's not. Same as like when he used to talk shit to LeBron. And he would openly say something like, oh, he's not that good. I'm better than it. And I'm like, It's LeBron. Shut up.
Yeah, but I don't know if he actually believes that, but I think he just said that to get under people's skin.
Oh, no way. Telling Jimmy that he's better than him at the free throw line.
That was kind of funny though.
And Jimmy's like, I'll beat your ass. And then Jimmy goes and drops 14 in the friggin' fourth quarter. And it's like, yeah, good work, Dylan. That was real smart of you. That works wonders, didn't it? But we need to move on.
Let's talk about some UFC.
Yeah, I reckon we go to UFC.
Let's talk about some UFC.
I like that.
So, couple
new
of developments
Yep.
over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Two big ones.
Yep.
Kamaru Usman is finally returning.
Yep.
It's been over a year.
Since it comes that far
Yeah.
on short notice.
Yeah. So that was,
He had a break. I didn't think he needed it.
was that the start of last year? Was that even like the end of the year before?
It was before 300.
Yeah, but 300 was like mid last year.
Mm.
All right, regardless, it's been a while. It's been at least a year since he's fought, right?
Yeah, I'll look at
And he comes back to Joaquin Buckley, who's been looking really good lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, who do you like in this matchup? Why do you like him in this matchup?
His last fight was October 21, 2023.
Yeah.
It's a long
Yeah, it's the end of the year. Yeah, it's been almost a year and a half
Yeah.
since he's fought.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
thoughts?
I like the fight. I think it would be a really good fight.
I really like it for Buckley.
I haven't watched a lot of Buckley to be able to say in my mind, oh, he's going to beat Kamaru Usman. But I don't know what Kamaru is going to turn up like. I don't know which Kamaru is going to turn up.
Yeah.
It's a hard fight for me to call. Like, Kamaru's been out for so long. Is he going to come out and is he going to go, oh, that's who he is? We all forgot. The Nigerian Nightmare is back.
Yeah.
Or is he going to come out and you be like, okay. Kind of like the Izzy and stuff where you're like, all right, you're done.
But even before this extended rest, he's on is it 2 or 3 fight losing streak?
He's on a 3-fight losing streak, so he's lost to Leon, where he got in the knockout. Lost to Leon again in decision, majority decision, and lost to Kamzat in majority decision.
Yeah.
But in saying that, like, coming off 10 days notice to fight Kamzat Chimaev and only get a majority decision against you.
Well, I remember watching that fight, right? And those first 2 rounds, Hamza was piecing him.
Yeah.
And then in that 3rd round, it's kind of like Kamaru kicked it on. So I think if that was a 5-round fight,
Kamaru might get it.
He could have won, right?
And you got to remember, like, Kamaru before that had fought.
Well, it was basically early.
If you had 10 fights, it was what, 2, 4, 6, 8. Probably that one as well. It's like 9 fights in a row. 10 after. I was right. 10 fights.
The 5-rounders.
Of 5-rounders.
Yeah.
So coming back to a 3-rounder would have been really hard.
Yeah.
Because his normal game plan would have been, all right, let's watch him. Let's see what he does in that first round.
Mm-hmm.
If we win the round, bonus. If we don't, we've watched him.
Yeah.
Second round comes around, comes out still coming 150 mile an hour in a 5-rounder. You're going, okay, he's coming. I've just got to weather this storm and then win the next round. He's going to get tired.
Yeah.
But then he's gone, oh, I've only got 1 round to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been hard for him to make that jump back.
Yeah.
Is this fight, they haven't told, have they said how many rounds it'll be? Will be 5?
Yeah, main event, so it's 5 rounds.
Yeah. I don't even know with fight nights if it ends up being 5.
Yeah.
So I like that for Usman. I don't know how to call the fight. Haven't watched a lot of Barkley. I don't know which Usman's coming back. But I like it.
Yeah. I really like it for Buckley. I mean, this is his hardest opponent.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense, right?
Well, you've always got to work up.
He's coming off of a TKO win over Colby Covington and Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's on a 4-fight winning streak, sorry. October. 6-fight win streak.
I don't know if this is all in a row, but yeah.
No, it is. Just the Kobe one was his most recent.
So he beat Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably on a 5, unless...
Well, that's 6.
6, 7, 8.
No, but he lost that one.
Oh, wait, yeah.
So,
And lost that one.
yeah, so he's coming off it. They were in different weight classes, though. So he was in Middleweight.
Yeah, because this would be welterweight now.
Yeah, and then he dropped to welterweight.
Yeah, okay.
So he was in a different weight class for a little bit. So he's on a 6-fight win streak.
Yep.
The last couple of fights have all come just by finish.
Yeah.
He looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of keen to see this one.
I'll also see it. I'm just interested to see it too. Like, obviously, I haven't seen too much of him, so I am quite interested to see.
I am keen to watch Usman again, but
I like Usman.
so I'm excited to watch him again because it's been a bit of a while.
I get he was a boring champion, a lot of people said, but I think he was only boring because he just won.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, and there wasn't that many good contenders.
No.
Jorge Masvidal was an okay fighter. He wasn't a contender like you see in some other weight classes.
Yeah.
Same as Colby, you know. Some of these guys, like,
It's just like the
Gilbert Burns is good.
yeah.
But yeah, like Colby, Jorge, Gilbert Burns, Jorge, Colby. It's a 4 out of 5 fights, so like, you're going to win those.
And looking back at it, was Leon Edwards really that good?
I loved him though.
Yeah, I mean, me too, but
I absolutely loved him.
but after his last few performances, was he really that good, or was he just lucky?
I think he got lucky in that fight.
Very lucky in the head kick.
Not lucky as in like, oh, it was just a luck of a head kick. It was really well technically set up.
Mm-hmm.
But 5th round, you're that tired. You've got a minute left, and you've thrown a little fake into the kick. How many times is the champion going to drop both hands?
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, come hit me.
Yeah.
Most guys, like, the only reason Kamaru really dropped both hands is because he switched off. Kamaru was ready. He might have just gone and parry with the left hand, kept this one up, or not a knockout. Kamaru ends up winning. But he dropped both. He gets the knockout. And then, saying that though, he beat him in the second fight by decision.
That's true.
So it's like, and he actually won that one, and he was dominant. So, I don't know. Like, yeah. I don't know. But then, he beat Tyron Woodley. That's a big win.
Yeah.
He was a problem, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah. No, I think
he's a better fighter than people give him credit for.
yeah, no, like obviously he's good, but yeah, right. I think when someone's just good and they're just winning and they're winning and they're winning, and he doesn't have the kind of hype around him.
He's not got that personality.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually almost too good of a person where like people don't like his personality because they, oh, you're a bit boring. You're just a normal person.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything that makes him like flashy.
He's not a psycho.
Yeah, he doesn't have that massive fan base around him like a lot of champions do now.
Yeah. But then you got Hill, Roundtree Jr. I love this fight.
I'm so glad that it got rebooked.
Yeah, I do love this fight.
Rebooked.
Because I want to see what Khalil has. Like, you saw him against Pereira, and he just out after 3 rounds. Did he get to the 4th, or did he get TKO'd in the 3rd?
No, I think he made it to the 4th.
I think he got TKO'd in the 4th. Whatever won, though, like, he had a good 3 rounds. 4th round?
Yeah, 4th round.
Yeah, so he had a really good 3 rounds.
End of the 4th round. There was only 20 seconds left. So.
Pretty sure he was up 3-0, or at least 2-1. No, 2-1, because I was like, he's a win one more.
Yeah,
it was 2-1. And I was like, oh, he's actually beating Pereira, like, striking.
He looked good.
He looked so good. It's just, I will be interested to see how he goes in another 5-rounder. Will he be better now that he won't be so gassed?
Yeah.
Hopefully, with some better training for it, because he wasn't completely ready for that fight.
Well, I mean, he was. Like, he had a full training camp.
No, but I'm saying completely ready. You could tell fitness-wise, he just wasn't.
He also came out swinging as well. Like, those first 2 rounds, he was like...
But like, he gassed out, and it was like, you can tell this guy's never had a fight forever.
Yeah.
Like, you could just tell.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that 5-round experience.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
But Hill is also a drop in competition compared to Pereira. Like, big time. Like, if he massive Pereira.
Yeah.
Like, Jamal Hill's not anything near that.
Massive drop. Og.
And he's coming off that KO loss to Yuri as well. So that's 2 in a row.
I actually forgot about that. Hill lost to Yuri. Yeah.
So that's 2 in a row for Hill. Roundtree is probably feeling pretty good.
Yep.
Hill had that injury as well, which is why he had to get rebooked.
Yep.
So how's he feeling coming off an injury?
Probably had
no losses.
probably 2 training camps for Roundtree now.
Mm-hmm.
He should be ready.
You would hope.
So I reckon Khalil. I got Khalil.
I've got Khalil on that one as well.
And I'm keen to see it. More maybe I probably, like, Hill could come out and piece him up, and I'm like, we really forgot about how good he was.
Well, Hill's got the power.
Yeah.
Right, he's got the power. But I think Roundtree can match that. But he's also got speed. Yeah, mate, he's got a bit more of a diverse game, whereas Phil is very like the outbox you.
Yeah, that's true. And then 17 hasn't been booked yet. 317.
Yeah. There has been a lot. There's been a lot of rumors.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of rumors.
There we go.
From
But the what?
Chael Sonnen specifically
Yeah.
has come out and said a lot about a lot of guys, right? So he said that Tom Aspinall and John Jones is booked. Not even 24 hours later, he said John Jones and Tom Aspinall was off, and instead it's going to be Aspinall and Cyril Garn. Mm-hmm. And then he came back out and said that Aspinall Jones is back on, but not for 17. And then he came out and said that Islam's moving up and Tapori is fighting Oliveira for the interim. And then he said, oh, but wait, Islam's actually going to fight 317 versus Taporia. So there's been so much said.
You know what I reckon?
One guy.
Chael, I think Chael actually knows what's going on. And for the first time ever, because usually with the fights, as fans, what we miss is there is a lot of that stuff going in the background to every fight.
Yeah.
And for once, there's just a guy in Chael, probably the first time he's had like inside knowledge on all these fights going on.
Yeah.
As an outsider and not being a fighter. And he's just like, oh my God, this is happening. This is happening. Because this is, I reckon, how the conversations would go. Daniel would get on the phone. Yep, we've booked it. Good. Jones, you're fighting. And he's like, yep, we're doing it. All right, good. So then Chael goes in, boom, happening. And then something will pop up like Aspinall, for example, might be like, I want this. Or Jones is probably the more likely. No,
It's 100. Like Tom said that he's not asking for it.
Yeah.
He just wants to fight.
So probably Jones actually is asking. He's probably saying, I want this. And then Daniel's like, well, I can't give you that. And Joe's about, fine then, I won't do the fight.
Yeah.
Boom. Chael will say, okay, now it's off. And then Dana will probably come back a bit after, fine, we'll just do it. All right, now it's back on. So Chael is messaging again, back on. So I reckon that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're actually seeing what it's like to every card.
Hmm.
I reckon it's like this with every card.
Yeah.
It's just never been publicly put out of like, yep, we're on. No, we're not on. We're on. We're not on. Because of how hard it is with managers and trying to talk to people and get both sides happy. This would happen all the time, I reckon.
Well, from what I've heard, it's pretty much John changing up his demands, right? So it started as he wanted 30 mil for the fight.
Yeah, now he wants
and then more. Now he wants 50 and 6 months to train for it from when it gets announced.
Yeah.
So say it got announced tomorrow, they wouldn't be fighting until October.
Yeah. Which is
Yongswell.
actually that would only be like 321.
That's still a lot.
That's a few cards, but it's only a lot because of how many they've already had off.
Yeah, but he also
I just think
he also doesn't need 6 months to train for it.
I think John, I don't want to say he's scared because I don't think he's scared of Aspinall. I think John is scared of going, is this my last fight ever? I don't want to lose this and have it be my last fight's loss. I think John wants to go out. I think John wants to go out on a win, and he's looking for a win to finish it.
Yeah.
And I reckon John's like, I don't want to finish with a loss to Aspinall, and Aspinall can beat me.
Yeah, but then who do you give him?
I know. I don't think Jones knows who to have. I think Jones is hoping Aspinall's going to lose one of these fights.
Yeah.
And then he could fight someone else, win, and go, boom, I've won, I've shut everybody up, now I'm done. I think that's what Jones wants. And I think Aspinall keep on winning is making it hard for Jones because he doesn't want to fight. Because he knows I could lose to Aspinall and I don't want my final fight to be a loss.
Yeah. So
I think that's what he's scared of, more so than being scared of Aspinall. Like you give him Aspinall a few years ago, he's probably just saying, yeah, I'll take it because I'm a winner, I'm a champion. I'm going to do it. Like when he took the Cormier fights and took the Gustafsons and all that. But now he's older and I reckon he's thinking about, I want to finish my career. I want to finish on a win. I want to keep my O. Well, he has that technical one, but
yeah,
really, everyone knows he's he's got to know.
Yeah.
And that's starting to play into his head, kind of like what it does to boxers.
I mean,
I think that's playing a little bit.
yeah,
I think that's what he's scared of, losing that oath.
you can think about it like,
Because he's already come out and said, on the go.
yeah.
And people would stop calling him that if he loses. There would be a group.
No, see, I think it's a win-win for him, right? Because either he wins, and he wins, or he loses, and everyone's like, "Oh, but you're 38. You've been fighting for 20 odd years." Like,
So, but I don't reckon they would say, oh, you're 38, because
I reckon there's a lot of people that would.
there'd be a group, but I'm saying most of them won't, because Pereira's old like that. A lot of fighters are at that age now.
Yeah, but Pereira also didn't start fighting in the UFC until
Mm.
40 years ago.
Yeah, but he was still fighting.
Yeah,
No, I don't know,
but
I think that's just what he's scared of. I reckon that's what Jones is scared of.
yeah,
Losing his O, losing the belt, people stop calling him the GOAT, so that type of stuff where, yeah, I think he wants to finish with all of it.
yeah.
I reckon.
Okay.
All right. We've got Islam Topuria or Islam Oliveira.
I've also heard Islam Gaethje, but I don't.
What's the fight you want to see the most?
The most I want to see Topuria.
Against Islam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I want to see Topuria Oliveira for
I'm not going to lie.
if Islam moves up. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Islam moving.
I'm not going to lie. I'd be very scared for Charles.
Me too.
I reckon Ilya clips him early.
Probably.
And that would be scary because Charles gets hit.
Yeah.
And Topuria will knock your lights out.
I just don't want to see Gaethje in there. I don't think
Gaethje's there. I don't think he's that level right now.
No, but the reason they're pushing for it, right, because Gaethje has come out and said, like, oh, next in line for a title fight, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
But the reason that is, because I saw someone talk about it, was that Islam and Gaethje share the same manager. So imagine his payday if he's got to say what he was the pay-per-view.
I could say what I mentioned.
Yeah, like, so he's pushing for it.
I see.
Gaethje's pushing for it. So apparently he's in there, but it's like a reason why.
In my head, right, when I go to levels of fighters,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got the Islam.
Yeah.
I'll put Ilya with it.
Yeah.
Until Ilya loses to Islam, I'm going to put him together.
Yeah.
Ilya, Islam. Then I'm going to have Oliveira, maybe Sarukian, even though he's out injured. Sarukian did there. Oliveira, so it's put him at the same level. Then in my head, like, even looking at Poirier Holloway right now, that's the Gaethje level. I don't know whether it's like because they're so much older, they've been around so long, they all fought each other.
Yeah.
And it's like a round robin on, well, you beat him, but I beat him, but then you beat me.
But then I bet he was.
Yeah. And it's like a triangle between the three of them. And they've all fought Conor.
Yeah.
I don't think Gaethje has, but
No, I don't think Gaethje fought.
the other two have fought Conor.
Yeah.
They've all lost, and only Poirier has beaten Conor. I don't think Holloway ever beat Conor. I think they've only fought once. And
No, Holloway didn't beat him.
Mm.
Poirier won, but that's when Conor broke his leg.
yeah, he didn't like really win it.
Yeah.
I won't count it as a win, but technically he won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the level I put him on. So I don't think of him as a title contender right now.
No.
Like Holloway, Islam would just be an absolute walk in the park.
I don't even think even.
But then Holloway got smashed by Ilya.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Poirier obviously lost to Islam. He had a pretty good fight, but lost.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That's the level I'm putting him on. I wouldn't like to see Gaethje fight any of them at the top like that. I would love to see I think Gaethje's time's over as a title contender. Sadly for him, because he's quite a good fighter. I like watching him.
Well, I mean, if he comes out and gets a few more wins, then it could change. Like if you give
him
Paddy,
You give him Paddy,
and
if he beats Paddy, I'll change my mind.
yeah,
But I do think Paddy will get.
I would get Paddy in that one as well.
I would take Paddy. I think Paddy looks really good.
Yeah.
And that could be the stepping stone for Paddy to get up there.
Yeah.
Especially with this fight already booked. Otherwise, you'd give Paddy one and then two. But with that fight already booked, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to see an Islam Ilya.
I think that's the only matchup you can make, right?
Right now, because otherwise it's dangerous not to. Because if Ilya loses to Oliveira, it ruins all of the buzz.
Yeah.
For the Ilya Islam matchup. Right now, it is so hot for that fight because everyone's like, I don't know who's going to win.
The only reason you give Ilya Charles is if Islam moves up to welterweight, right? That's the only reason you do that one. But otherwise, you kind of have to do those two because Dana's already come out and said that Armin's not getting a rematch, like straight away.
Fair.
But Armin beat Charles. And then, like you said, you've got these three. So you've got Poirier's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Max beat Gaethje.
Yeah,
But Ilya KO'd Max. So you've got all the top guys, which either Ilya's beat the guy that's beat them, or they're just out of the picture. So you've only really got Topuria because like Islam, he's already had.
Yeah.
Like his last one was against Moicano, who was ranked number 10. He probably wants to fight the higher rank.
I will never say Islam's ducking anyone because Islam has actually booked the fights.
Yeah.
And it was the other guys pulling out. And Islam's like, well, fine, I'll fight Moicano. Like, I won't bag him for fighting a 10-rate Moicano because it's like, no, you booked Arnold Saruki.
Yeah,
it was just Moicano was the one who showed up.
Yeah, that was
we fought anyway. And like, yeah, you fought Volva, and people put that against Islam. Like, oh, you fought a featherweight twice. Of course you did. But it's like, well, Volk was really hyped in that first fight, and then it was so close. Yeah, he shouldn't have taken the short notice. But he did. And it happens. I think, yeah, I would love to see the Islam Ilya fight. I think that would be the fight to book. I think that would be a really good one to watch.
Well, I'm just waiting for an announcement now, right? Because
yeah, I don't want to make any like assumptions. I think there's an announcement coming out soon.
Because
said in the next few days, I hope.
Last week, Ilya tweeted out that he's entered the training camp.
I love it.
Islam has also entered the training camp.
I love it.
Oliveira has also entered the training camp. So
did he? I didn't even know Oliveira did.
What I think is going to happen, right? Ilya versus Islam, and you've got Charles as the backup.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe you book Charles for, maybe he's on the undercard of that fight. Because maybe, say Ilya wins.
The card.
No, like on the main event, but just not the actual main event.
When you said undercard, I was like,
no. Then you book those two.
That's winner undercard ever.
The winner of those two is who Charles is going to fight.
And we'll give Charles Gaethje or Paddy. Or not Paddy because it's too late.
Give him some damage, yeah. But then you also have him as the backup fighter for those two if one of them was to pull out.
And you're happy to, drop Gaethje.
But then everything could change next week.
I think this is what Islam's waiting for.
Well, he said
Islam was saying, I'm not signing until this happens.
He said, if JDM wins, I'm moving up.
Yeah. Which I get. You want greatness. Yeah. Go get another weight belt. I get it. And he's like,
it's the same thing to Poirier.
And he doesn't want to fight Bilal because they're in the same camp. I get that. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. It's the same thing to Poirier is doing right.
I do think Dana would hate it because then he's like, but I want Shavkat to have the shot.
Yeah, but out of that, who would you give it to?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
give it to Islam.
Yeah, but I think what Dana would be like is like, oh, why don't you fight Ilya? And then when Shavkat, because I reckon in Dana's mind, Shavkat's going to get the belt. When Shavkat gets the belt, imagine that super fight. What is Shavkat?
What do you do with Sean Brady Shavkat #1 contenders fight?
Nah, because I reckon Shavkat will go straight to the title because he's already proven it.
But so Sean Brady technically,
because he was meant to have the title fight.
Yeah,
and Bilal pulled out.
Yeah,
and then he went and fought someone else and won anyway. Fought Ian Gary and won anyway.
But then also for this one, Shavkat got injured and Buckley was going to get the title shot. But the only reason JDM did is because he was already in camp for Leon, which then got changed to Sean Brady. Right. There's so many different things.
I would think Shavkat would get the nod just because as well, like everyone knows Shavkat's the guy to go next.
I reckon if Islam moves up, I reckon they do a Sean Brady Shavkat for #1 spot. Winner of that gets the next title shot.
Yeah. I know. It's quite confusing.
And then if not, Ian Gary.
I loved Ian Gary's performance the other day.
He won the other day, so maybe you give Ian Gary.
He fought very well.
Something like that. Or maybe the winner of Buckley Usman, maybe you give them the loser of Brady Shavkat.
I think Leon needs to get out of those rankings. I think Leon's a little bit higher right now.
I
think you give the winner out of Buckley Kamaru, you give him Ian Gary. and that'll prove.
No, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, because then
No, because then they'd both be ranked above him.
I said you give him Ian Gary.
Yeah, but why would you give him
It's a fight.
Yeah. Why would you do that, but?
Because Ian Gary just won his last fight.
Yeah, but then he lost the one before, so he's only.
Yeah, but he lost at Shavkat.
Yeah, but if you're Buckley
on short notice and he put up a really good performance, like I don't think you're down on Ian Gary for that loss.
No, but if you're Buckley and you just beat Kamaru, why would I then go down again to fight Gary? No,
because then that gets you your contender fight.
No, I'd be pushing for one of these two, if not the belt. I wouldn't be pushing for Gary. I'd be pushing for either Brady
or
whoever wins.
I don't think Kamaru or Buckley deserve the belt shot yet.
If Buckley wins this one, but it's a 7 better than everyone else,
I would say. There we go.
And like I said, Buckley was gonna get it before JDM did.
Yeah, I still wouldn't like it. I would rather see him like fight Ian Gary, winner gets that contender or belt. That's like your own little contender.
I would see Gary getting the loser of Usman Buckley. I wouldn't give him the winner. Because then I think you're winning that fight, and then what? You're just fighting someone else.
Because what's Ian Gary proving if he gets a loser fight?
Well, he would still fight someone ranked higher than him.
Yeah, still. Not really. Buckley's below him.
No, but if Buckley wins, he's up here, and Kamaru's not dropping all the way down there.
That's how it happens.
And these two already have a bit of beef going on. So if Buckley loses, then you just do that fight.
Yeah, but if Buckley wins, you do that fight.
No, if Buckley wins, I don't think he pushes for that. If Buckley wins, I reckon you give him one of these two.
I mean, Buckley would obviously want one of those two, but I would think you. So if you're doing those fights at top, while that's happening, you do this one. And then when they're over with, that's when the Ian Gary Buckley winner will be ready for the title. And it'll be like its own little contender underneath it. Kind of see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it would be happening at the same time.
No, I think
this would happen soon. Right. Let's say this happens now.
Right. Soon, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Winner will fight for the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then by the time that fight happens, right, these guys will start their training camp. Right? Boom, they fight. We know who's fighting for the title. That title fight will happen at a similar time, if not the same time as that fight. Then we know who the new title is. Let's say Shavkat wins it, right? Boom, Shavkat beats Sean Brady. Boom, Shavkat wins the title. Same time, let's say Buckley beats Gary. Now Buckley gets his title shot. It will happen in the same time frame. It's just a different way of going about it. And you knock off some other title guys underneath while it happens. It's like an under preview to the title. Kind of get what I'm saying?
I do, but I disagree.
And I think it happens at the same time frame as what you're wanting it to happen anyway. It's just a little bit simpler.
But it's not, because you're making them do more fights.
No, I'm saying the same amount of fights.
No, because if you do a Brady...
Instead of Buckley fighting Brady or Shavkat, Buckley's just fighting Gary. Winner will get the title if he beats us.
But then he still has to do 2 fights. Regardless, he has to do 2 fights.
Yeah, and I'm just saying I think that's an easier one because I think Sean Brady, Shavkat, or one of those two for the title will happen anyway.
No, I think you put Brady against Shavkat.
Yeah.
You've already got Kamaru Buckley.
Mm-hmm.
Say, we're just going to get rid of Islam in this situation, all right? Because that just complicates it a bit more. So let's just keep Islam in his own division.
Yep.
What you do, the winner of Buckley and Kamaru fights the winner of Brady Shavkat.
See, that is such a step down for Brady Shavkat.
But it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not. Shavkat's had a win, and now he's pulled out of one fight.
Because he felt else pulled out.
Because he's injured. Right.
Think about it though. Imagine you're the number 1 contender.
Mm-hmm.
You do a contenders fight against the number 2.
Yeah.
You win that fight. Then they go, oh, you just won the contenders fight. You're having another contender.
No, it's loser. Sorry, my bad. So
for you to say that is the stupidest thing I've ever.
No, so Sean Brady Shavkat fight.
Yeah.
Winner gets Bilal or JDM, whoever ends. Kamaru and Buckley get the loser of these two, and then the winner of that one is next in line. And then Ian Gary, you just give him the loser of one of these guys. Because he's not on the same tier of any of these guys. Is he bad? No, but he's not on Bilal.
I think he's closer than you're giving him credit for.
No.
I would put him on the same tier as the Usman Buckley.
No,
And you're giving one of those two.
both of them. Like, I know Gary's ranked higher at the moment.
I would say Gary's better.
I don't know, but I think he's better.
I reckon he'd win the fight against Kamaru. I don't know about Buckley because obviously I haven't watched enough of. I reckon he'd beat Kamaru.
No, I am Gary. Yes, he's up there in rankings, but he's more in this tier.
He's better than all those guys. He's better than Colby. He's better than Gilbert. He's better than Jeff Neal. I wouldn't say he's down there. I'd say he's on the Buckley Kamaru tier, and that's why I want to see him fight that.
I just don't think he's done enough. He's won one fight.
Yeah, but he's won a lot before that. Wait, let me look him up. Ian Gary record. So, Ian Gary beat Carlos Prates. Massive win. Right?
Yeah.
Lost to Shavkat on a short notice.
Yeah.
Right? Beat Michael Page, beat Jeff Neal, beat Neil Magny. And then there's a couple of...
See, none of those are like...
Well, you're trying to put him in the same tier as Jeff Neal.
No, but look, he's versed one guy in the top 5 and he lost. Was it short notice? Sure, but he still lost.
Short notice, put up a really good fight against a guy who's never been to decision. Took him to decision in a 5-round fight.
Still lost.
Yeah, but that's not a good loss, but like...
No, but...
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so he beat...
The guy was 18-0 with 18 finishes.
No, where's Neil Magny? Magny's not even ranked. Okay, so he's beat the number 15 guy. He's beat 30.
Neil Magny was a while ago.
And he's beat 10.
Neil Magny was halfway through 2023.
Okay.
So it was a long time.
Okay, so I think Magny would have been ranked.
Yes. Jeff Neal was 2024 February, so he would have been higher than he is right now.
I don't think so, bro.
I think he would have been higher. If he wasn't...
Can you have a look at previous rankings?
I'm not sure. Maybe look up. When
you'll
see rankings 2024. Let's just say if this comes up.
Okay.
Is this going to show me?
Yeah. Is that pound for pound?
No way. We're in welterweight. Edwards down to number 1.
Yeah, so that'd just be what it was for that.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me like... Yeah, no, not really. It doesn't give me the actual rank.
Alright, no, so right now is the highest that he's been ranked.
Really?
Yeah, at number 10. 2024, he was ranked number 16.
Okay, so he wasn't ranked that one.
Okay, so he's beat currently the number 10 guy, the number 13 guy, the number 15, and Magny was 13 before Prates beat him.
Yeah.
Right? So he's beat guys that are in the top 10 or worse, and he's had one fight of a guy in the top 5, and he lost. So why does he deserve to fight a top 5 guy again at the moment? Give him the...
Who am I giving him? I'm giving him the winner of Kamaru Buckley.
No, you give him the loser of that fight.
See, I was saying give him the winner.
Because then you're still giving him a top 5 guy. He's not at that level yet.
Yeah, but neither is Buckley or Usman. Usman's had so much time off. I don't think he's ready for another contender title fight. I think he needs another 2. It does depend how they fight too. If Buckley comes out and smokes Usman, you're like, oh, maybe actually I'm wrong.
Yeah,
but if it's a close fight,
if Buckley wins that fight, then he's up there, right? Gary just... You give him the loser of that fight. Because then, regardless, right, he's fighting a top 5 opponent.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're not going to give him Brady.
Same argument for against Ian Gary. Who is Buckley for? Colby Covington. What's he? 9.
Yeah.
Similar to Jeff Neal.
But
Stephen Thompson. Where's Stephen Thompson?
At the moment, 11. But when he fought them, they were both top 10.
They were probably around the same. Oh, no. Colby would...
Colby was 11.
Yeah.
Thompson was like top 8.
Okay. What about... I don't even know how to say this bloke's name. Nasolson.
I don't know who that guy is.
Vincent Luke.
Luke is like 14 now.
Yeah.
But he won...
Alex Morono. And I'm not going to go any further because that's how many fights I did for Ian Gary.
Yeah.
Right? So he's a similar level of fighter that Ian Gary is.
No, but he's fought guys in the top 10 and knocked him out. Gary fought one guy in the top 5.
And I think Yeah,
And like everyone else has been below top 10.
See, but I'm giving him credit for that fight, being short notice, fighting a guy. It's like Shavkat.
But at the end of the day, he still lost.
Shavkat really, in my eyes, is the best fighter in the division.
But he still lost.
Yeah.
Did he look good? Sure, but he still lost.
Yeah, but
Khalil looked good against Pereira,
but what I'm saying is he fights that same fight, right?
Yeah.
Against, I would say, scroll up for me. Against Leon, Usman, and Buckley, he wins all three.
Oh,
he fights the same fight that he fought against Shavkat.
Yeah, but that's just fight to basketball. I'm just saying, like, maybe you give him Leon and he wins, and then it's a completely different story. But if we're talking right now,
I don't think you can give him Leon. I do Leon's
fighting
well enough.
You give him the loser of Buckley Usman.
I'm just saying, I just reckon he should get the winner.
I just think you think he's a lot better than what he is. I'm not saying he's bad.
I think he's very good. When I think he's giving him the credit,
but he's not top 5.
I'm not saying he's top 5. I'm saying he should get the fight that is the winner between the number 4 and the number 7.
Yeah, but then that would be
being the number 6. You know.
But then that's doing it. I'm going back to what I said before. That's a disservice to the winner of that fight. You win that fight, you deserve one of these guys. You don't deserve someone.
Well, it's not like I'm saying you fight Ian Gary, then you do a contender. I'm saying you fight Ian Gary, then you fight for the title. So it's the same level of fights. You're still getting to the same end result. It's just a different way. And what it does is,
it's knocks you apart.
It knocks out another guy.
But would you rather not do one of these fights of the top 3 guys? If you're Usman Buckley, you just win. You'd want to fight a top 3 guy. If not for the belt, you wouldn't want to drop down and fight a guy ranked lower than you when you just won that fight. I think you give him the loser. Gary just lost the fight before Pratik.
Again, but we're going to go in circles. He lost it to Shavkat.
But he still lost.
Like, he lost it to the number 2 ranked guy who, in my eyes, is the best fighter.
If you just say Hill Roundtree isn't happening right now, right?
Okay.
Because Roundtree lost to Pereira, do you then go and give him the number 1 contender in Yuri?
Who else is that? Other than, well, what? You've got Pereira, you got Yuri, you got Ankalaev, right?
Where are we looking? We've got Ankalaev, Holberg, Hill, Jan, Rakic, Yuri, Pereira. Because when Roundtree lost to Pereira, do you then say, oh, that's okay, well, we'll give you the number 2?
Hold on. If Roundtree lost to Pereira, then fought Don Reyes and beat him, right? And then there was a fight where there was Hill versus Olberg. I would be like, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him fight the winner. Yeah, I would say that.
But why would you do winner? If you did it...
Well, because I would say I don't think...
Now, it's not under the same thing. If you do a 2-3 matchup, why should the winner of the 2-3 fight the guy in 8?
Well, I'm saying he's then just beaten somebody. He beat someone well.
Okay, so you do a 2-3 matchup and a 7-8 matchup. If the winner of the 2-3 fights the winner of the 7-8, why would you do that?
I also don't think you're to the level of Gary.
If you're the winner of the 2-3...
Yeah. Or mine's the 3-4.
You want a title of same thing. Then you want the title fight. You don't want to go and fight someone ranked 6 spots below.
I know you want the title fight, but when Yuri's lost 2 title fights...
Yeah.
You can understand why he doesn't deserve another title fight.
But it's against a different guy.
Yeah, but the different guy beat the guy that he lost to twice.
Still a different
and lost to convincingly.
Still a different guy. We're just going around in circles.
We are going in circles.
Yeah.
We're getting to the same end result.
Yeah,
it's just in different ways.
Point is, I'm right. And with that being said,
yeah, you're gonna end the episode.
Because now that wraps up episode 9 of the Off the Bench podcast. Thank you everyone for joining in and listening on this episode. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube, follow the Instagram, send us recommendations on stuff that you want to see.
This is a little bit of the outro he's ever done because he has a meaning to do it. The best outro you have ever done.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Like, comment, subscribe,
All right.
and we'll catch you later.
See ya.